We're joined now virtually by the ADC candidate in the Anambra State governorship election, Mr. Charles Chukwuma Soludo, to speak on the aftermath of the election and his experience on election day. Mr. Nwosu, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Yes, I'm on screen now. I can see you.
I can see you as well. I can see you on screen. Good morning, Mr. Nwosu. So let's head right into it. I mean, you did considerably well for a party that is relatively new. I mean, you got no less than 8,000 votes, 8,200 and counting. How would you describe the polls? How would you describe your experience in the build-up to the election on election day and, of course, right now in the aftermath?
Well, thank you, Natalie. I'm happy that you were in the field, at least on the day of the election. But build up to the election, you can see that there was no level playing field for all the candidates. That first of all, we have to pay 50 million naira, all the candidates, for you to advertise, And I'm sure that the incumbent governor, that APGA government, did not pay any money. We are not allowed to go into the market. It's only the incumbent that was campaigning inside the market. So there was no level playing field. However, that is not a problem to me, because I use the media and every other thing. And I went to the grassroots. All the nook and corners of Anambra State, I visited them to see things for myself. As far as in Anambra West, which I'm sure a lot of candidates did not visit. So I was able to send my message across. But the killer of the election was the vote buying, which, because of my integrity and what I stand for, I told my team we are not going for vote buying. Our system must change. So, vote buying, as far as I'm concerned, with the vote buying, there was no election. And what is my expectation from our governor, Professor Charles Soludo, is to do exactly what our late president, Umaru Yar'Adua, may his soul rest in perfect peace of blessed memory, did when he came to power on May 29, 2007. I quote, "I'm aware that the process that brought me here was flawed. However, I will start from today to amend the process, review the process." And that is the origin of all these new electoral electoral reforms that we see happening today. It's not enough to everybody to wake up and be congratulating the governor, whereas he has installed poverty in the state. People were so poor that seeing 3,000 naira is like seeing 1 million naira. So people were just buying bulls and whatever. And I'm happy that Afia TV captured one of the scenes in my own ward, where a chieftain of APGA, the former treasurer under the regime of P2P, was busy collecting names and sharing money. I'm happy that when I challenge him, Mrs. Karagu, you captured it in picture.
Right. I mean, when we tried to connect with you yesterday, we did try to put that video up where we saw you basically taking the card that was labeled APGA canvassers on election day. We saw you collecting it, and they tried to resist, but you went ahead to expose that anomaly. And that is a great way for us to continue this. Could you speak to the alleged APGA canvassers that you saw on field and the bold move that you took when you took the card and displayed it to all of Nigeria?
Well, I went to one of the polling booths in my ward, and I saw a lot of people wearing a tag, APGA canvasser, Yes, I think you are showing the video now. That's Mrs. Carol Abuncha. That the size book she was carrying contains the names of the people that have voted for APGA, that were paid money, you know. So you can be canvassers on election day amounts to campaigning on election day. We were given enough time to campaign. So why should APGA have canvassers wearing their uniform, not allowing people to vote freely? As you enter the arena, they will stop you and ask you, please, and advise you, please, can you vote for APGA? And the people will ask, how much are you paying? You know, so it's more like a marketing for vote. I feel so ashamed and sorry for my dear people of Anambra. I don't know that poverty has gotten to that level in Anambra State. We have never seen. So as far as I'm concerned, there was no election. It was just a vote buying business.
You said there was no election and it was vote buying. You have evidence of people, being canvassed on election day. You have, like you said, the lady, the treasurer with the paper of people paying, people distributing money. My question is this: how much of this information has been catalogued and put together to take to the election tribunal? Are the other parties coming forward, as maybe one class action or as a group? Is there cooperation between all the parties, or is everybody accusing everybody else of doing it? How would the tribunal be approached? Or are people not going to make any post-election petitions based on the fact that, as you say, there was so much visible vote buying, inducements, and canvassing on election day, all of which violates the electoral statutes?
Well, I must hear the activities of the police force, because I'm aware so many occasions, in several occasions I called their attention. They were swift, except that the police officers at the polling booths were not trained, so they don't even know they were just there, not minding what was happening. That people will vote, people use their phone to go in and vote, take picture and show and collect their money. But the good thing, the Nigerian police, I'm aware that they have up to 10, 15 people in their custody, and they have charged at least 3 people to EFCC, and people that were caught with around 72 to 77 million naira. And these are candidates of APGA, and APC, as I heard. So there is enough evidence, and of course, in a social media, I was told that even the governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma, acknowledged that the APC was buying vote at the cost of 15,000 naira. So, and the good thing is that your team were there with me, and they saw for themselves what was happening. So there is no much. It's glaring, and all the companies has accepted that there was vote buying and whatever.
I mean, yes. Vote buying, you even in one of the interviews said that you were approached by some indigents a day before the election, and they said that you have to pay them for votes, and when you refused, they threatened that you would lose the election because you didn't want to give them any money. I mean, it's quite unfortunate. So what would be the next line of action for you as we wrap up? What are you going to do next? Would you be going to court? Would you be continuing on your political sojourn? Tell us what you want to do next.
And do you believe or have faith in the judiciary that if you go to these tribunals, there's the possibility of a favorable outcome?
Right.
Well, as I said in my last interview with one of the media, I'm still discussing with the party, because party is supreme. I'm having a meeting with the party and all the stakeholders. I'm a team player. In the next 1 week, we will be hearing from me on our next. But of course, for politics, I'm not shying away. I'm not withdrawing. Whatever is the outcome, I must make sure that I contribute to, because democracy is about effective opposition, to make sure that people account for the resources of the state. It will never be business as usual.
Okay.
So I'm not withdrawing from politics. I have to be active and continue to work until the system changes.
Would you be extending the hand of fellowship extended by the governor of Anambra State?
Well, like I said, I will always do what is good on the interest of the people of Anambra State. But the issue of vote buying, the illegality of the election needs to be addressed. And there must be conscious effort by all parties. Because today, people are congratulating him, and these are respected people in our society who knows what is wrong. The business is, let's go ahead. Then what happens in 2027? The same business, because you notice this happened 4 years ago at a smaller scale. It happens in 16th of August at a lower scale. Now, every day is increasing.
Okay.
And of course, so before you know it, it will spill to other states. So what it means is that for governors, you don't need to do any work. Just keep money on the day of election. And this type of thing, we create chaos. If the aim of democracy will be defeated, where opposition are not needed in any contest. So since you can buy votes, you don't need to work.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Nwosu, for joining. I mean, the
advocacy has to be started by the government.
Okay, so we're out of time. I mean, the advocacy has to be started, that's for sure. And we must say this is quite a prophetic message from you on the show today. We'll continue to monitor your next line of action. Some people are seeing you for the very first time. We hope to see you more on the political scene as the months progress. Thank you once again, Mr. John Nwosu, ADC candidate in the 2025 Anambra gubernatorial election. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Natalia. Thank you, Nandi. And thank the entire team of Afia TV.
You're welcome, sir.
Continue the good
all the best
in the dissemination of information.
Thank you so much.
The truth to our people.
Thanks you so much.
Thanks for partnering with us.
Thank you
very much.
Keep you posted in my next line of actions.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.